against?
I can't say who yet. I have a lot of people I could sue, certain hospitals, certain nurses.
So is this...
In my case, this is unauthorized. Like I've been legally blind since a little kid.
Okay.
Just congenital, like I had some kind of cataract surgery. I don't know a lot about it because I was a little kid, but I had additional surgery I didn't authorize, which is some of the pictures I'm showing here.
All right.
And so I can't go into the who's, whens, hows, all that specific, because that's what's going to come on court, right? But I do know some of the specific people involved, the hospitals, the government agencies.
So the procedure, you are assuming, put a camera in your eye?
That's, I'm going to say the evidence suggests that.
What was the thing, what made you first realise this?
That I can't discuss.
Have you crossed anything like this before?
No, that's why I'm just curious. Like,
Yeah,
so what was like the...
That's a completely legitimate question. That's the first question I would get asked. But there's certain things like I don't answer to anyone. Like if the cops ask me, I will. It's something I'm saving for court, right?
If there's a court thing, then it makes sense, obviously, because I could be infiltrating.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I think I have some evidence, video that suggests it could be a camera, right? Now, if it is a camera, I have something else that I saw that appears to show something floating across my eye. It looks like a tracking dot. I don't want to speculate. I don't know. I've never seen anything like this in my eye.
What color does it look?
It just looks like a dot that floated across my eye, almost like you'd see a star or something go across the universe. I have reason to be, and I don't want to go too much into it, I have reason to be there may be facial recognition in it.
I was going to ask, like, do you think this might be some kind of bionic eye where you can maybe see infrared in the dark, or even some kind of augmented reality where you can kind of see information of things?
I bought what I paid $34 for, an inspection camera at a local hardware store, right? Inspection camera, real quick, is what you use to find loose screws in the engine. It has like a snake neck, it has a camera on the end, usually a light, a magnet.
Hi guys, welcome back to Plum Apart. Before I shove this camera up my bum, click the subscribe button and the bell notification. It's super important. Now, I've had appendicitis in my time and I know what a colonoscopy feels like.
I did take it and put it safely, this I was blind, right, and put it up here and record it. And that's how I got really close images. I have an old iPhone 7, you know, if I get an iPhone 13, which I haven't even used on it yet, I might get better video and stuff. But with the right lighting and all, with that inspection camera, I was able to at least get, you know, that. And that's where I saw the thing floating. That looks like a bubble. And I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of looks like an oil slicker. It looks like Matrix. If you picture the thing in Matrix or Terminator 2, I think it was, when they put the finger in the liquid metal and they pull it out.
All right.
Now I have some in my eye that goes, it looks like a bubble, man, and it turns into like, I don't want to say it turns into alloy or metal or something, but it kind of, I'm sitting there and my whole eye goes pulses, like that part of, like a little circle, like it's like almost like a magnifying glass, and it goes.
Have you considered maybe putting like a metal detector somewhat across the face to see if anything kind of picks up?
Not a metal detector.
So there's no metal plating from the operation, or?
There's nothing I've authorized. Now, anything from definitely being drugged or poisoned, things possibly microchips and or nano implants and or poisonous say materials, but substance or liquids. I've had that put in my coffee, food. I found metal wires in my food.
This could be some kind of CIA operative, like, test.
I told you my dad was a cop, like my granddad was a judge in the States. So my frustration is, hey, I got friends that are their dads are in Secret Service. My granddad's a judge. My dad's a law enforcement officer with the state of Georgia and or a city, right? So I support cops. I support good cops. I support good lawyers, good doctors, all that.
With something like this, you could be going to the wrong source. You could be going to the police, but the police are not seeing anything because the line above the police are removing evidence, removing facts.
Absolutely, and I agree. This one this is a newer picture, but I had a police officer, I'm not going to give a name or even, but let's say it's a somewhat local police officer, came out, looked at my arm. This is after one person tried to take a psychiatric angle, and I do want to disclose that prior to this happened to me in California, I had no psychological history, never been to an institution, had very little criminal history other than expired tags, a couple of speed tickets in my when I'm 19, 22, things like that.
We've all been there.
Virtually no psych history, criminal history, even medical history, barely been in the hospital, right? Pretty healthy individual. So I don't have all this history. I did get people trying to get me incriminated, right? So that's why I think there's police involved as well. I have evidence that people are trying to incriminate me multiple times and get me arrested, putting drugs in my backpack, for instance.
Have you tried reaching out to other sources of media, post case such as Infowars.com?
Yeah, I've actually dropped letters in person at practically all the major media companies here.
Going forward from our side, how can we keep updated on this story?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so you know, I'm a refugee claimant. I don't mind disclosing that. I came from Florida.
Okay.
I left everything. I left my family. I left my career. I left a charity that started that helped cancer survivors. I left all that in Florida. So, well, you can track it. Hopefully someone will grab attention to this, right? If the U.S. rejoins the UN, I can go back to them. But I've tried to file a formal complaint with the United Nations. That was denied because the U.S. withdrew from certain charter agreements. And I did volunteer to go to a psychotherapist for my refugee hearing, and will volunteer that he said after seeing some of the same evidence I provided to police, he sees visible signs of harassment. So he is going to a mental health professional voluntarily to try to take my opinion out of it and say, what does the professional think? He didn't diagnose me with schizophrenia, anything that sees visible signs of harm, which I went back to the police with. I said, look, I have a professional.
I mean, as someone who's been talking to you for 50 minutes, I can say there isn't any kind of sign of any kind of mental disfigure. And how can we keep up to date with the case? When will we? Is there any way we can get updates on post-court date? Maybe.
I haven't started a website. That's kind of my next thing. It's such a fluid situation. I don't have a problem with volunteering my name. My name is John Brandon Bethea, BrandonBethea. There is another John Brandon Bethea out there in another state, I believe. So make sure if you find one, I'm the one from Florida.
Okay.
I'm the one that started a company called Fin Forward. It's a shark diving charity for cancer survivors. I lost my mom to cancer. We used to take cancer survivors on shark dives.
Taiko Tapuini, reporting from Toronto. Thank you for watching.